I used to work at this one dealership and I absolutely loved it. They were extremely picky about paperwork. Like they had requirements that the state didn't have. They had requirements that the lenders didn't have. That were just like extremely rigid. And in order to process my loans, like I would lose sleep overnight. Like all of these loans impending and they needed to be processed, and I knew I had to answer questions about it in the morning time. I would be like, hey, well, the state doesn't really require the signature, or the lender doesn't really require this, or this is, and they would be like, okay, well, we're trying to get it done, but we're not used to all these exceptions and adjustments because regardless, this is the way we do it. And back then I used to think, well, that's terrible for business because they always say, the way we've always done things is, you'll always get the results you get, or whatever it may be. Like, growth, change with the times. But these people set a standard that was specific to them. It exceeded the state standard, it exceeded the lender's standard, and it was their standard. And it meant that things got done properly regardless. It meant that if you wanted to push back even a little bit, it was going to be a lot of resistance from their process because they took their process serious, and it lent to the credibility of the organization overall. And after working at other places where they were quick to make these adjustments, quick to change the rules to meet these guidelines, what I found is that it was a lot easier to push the state standard. It was a lot easier to push the credit lender standards. It was a lot easier to bend and budge their standards because they were constantly moving them and updating them anyways. And it led to the inconsistency and the questionable actions of their practices there. And I just think about the difference in holding that standard, holding your structures regardless of what's required, understanding who you are and what those standards are for you, and meeting it not because it's not going to get approved by the state, or it doesn't have that image if you don't do it this way, but because it's what you value, and it's who you've decided to be, and it's where you've set your standard. Have a good day.